to resize the inodes. So then if you resize the inodes, then you sync that directory again, and it's boot, so it takes like 15 seconds. Sync boot, and then Grub installed right away and it booted. He's like, yeah, I've seen that before.
I've had that happen on my home drive. I had a small home drive, but I had a ton of small files, so I ran out of inodes.
So, I mean, what is the maximum number? 64
It depends.
million?
You can set it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends on the size of your drive, and the default is
the default's a percentage. Just like your hidden blocks is also a percentage, and you can change that with Tune to FS.
Okay.
There's a switch in Make FS that allows you to set your inode size.
Okay.
But what's confusing at times is it'll say like the hard drive's full, and you'll look at it, and there'll be like 2 gigs free.
Yeah.
But it's because the inodes are full.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But it just says full. It doesn't say, hey, we're full because you've run out of. Oh, so then you got to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or get a bigger hard drive.
Oh, that'd be my solution.
When you get a bigger hard drive, you get more inodes.
Hey, life is good.
Or you can just, when you format it with more inodes or less inodes.
Are you able to? Would you have to do that from the command line or a partition manager? Let's say.
I don't know. We do everything at the command line at work.
Do we have a tooltip today?
Matt, talk for me.
I do not have a tooltip for today. No.
You need to turn on your mic.
Oh, I didn't mean to laugh.
No, I don't have a tooltip.
RPM Orphan, you ever use that?
RPM Orphan?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I was thinking about grep. I was going to do one on grep, and then I didn't.
Okay. I didn't have time to come up with something, except I did come across RPM Orphan. I think there's some other like Debian-based systems have something similar. It's basically, sometimes they're just libraries and things that don't get cleared up, and they're kind of orphan files, and what RPM Orphan does is goes through and finds those and then gives you an option of cleaning them up. But that's really all I know about it, so it doesn't really qualify as a tooltip yet. Just to give you guys a heads up, you saw I'm going to have Linux convention scene for September, and there's quite a few more. I have got a couple of stories. I've got my review I think I told you about. You'll hear all about that. It'll be kind of fun. It will be ample opportunity to comment. There was Tony, I don't know if you've looked at the distros yet, but there was a new one that was just came out this morning.
I was glancing at it, but I didn't read through
it's a NAS system distro. So I've got comments for all of them.
Cool.
So,
how far back did you go?
The last one we did was, I want to say, Parsix. I'll go find out. As soon as I see it, I'll know. I'll be able to tell you. So just want to tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is called Open Media Vault. Last one that Matt and I did last week. Oh, it's fallen off the.
Yeah, I only go back as far as Manjaro, and we were before that for sure.
Well, if you look on the side, the first list, it says latest distributions. It goes back to the 18th. Estrium.
On the main page, it goes back to the 19th. That's when Manjaro goes back to.
Parsix. I'm going to do for August, the month of August. Distributions all month. August. Okay, let's see here. We're going back to. We did. Parsix was the last one we did, so we're good. So Manjaro, of course, is developmental.
No, is NAS for free?
It's not listed on here.
NAS for free, is that a... It's the one right above Parsix. I think that's a release candidate, though.
I don't have it.
And then Kuroshi.
I don't have it. It's not listed on the front page.
Yeah, it is, on the left.
No, it's not listed in the main screen.
Right, it's on the left.
I understand that, and I see it there. I'm saying the main screen we read from, it's not there.
I understand.
So
we're in agreement. We're saying exactly the same thing.
Okay. I don't know what it is, and I'm not talking about it.
I right-clicked those links and brought them up in a different tab.
Did you? I'll go check it out, but
You guys want to get in the IRC too?
oh yeah. Thanks, Tony. See, we're already just kind of smoothly humming along. Tony's got everything set up. Matt and I are just going back and forth. You're just working behind the scenes. And you are the toast. Do you remember that?
That's right. That was funny.
I mean, that is, without the toast, the butter and the jam are just going all over the place. All right.
I can't tell whether it's a distribution release or a release candidate or an RC.
See, that's why I think that
And the other one's just not loading. There it goes. Kuroshi. I can't tell with that one either.
okay.
By the way, you can get the link for the video from any computer. It doesn't have to be from the Hangout computer. So what I did here is when you start the Hangout on air, it broadcasts it or puts it on Google Plus.
Okay. And if you following it, you're gonna get it, right?
Right.
Okay.
And you guys both follow SMLR, so
yeah. Okay.
so it comes up and you click on that and then it'll start playing. You stop it and then there's a little share button.
Okay.
You can get the link from there.
I went to their website. I can't tell what the latest release is.
And Kuroshi?
No, NAS for free.
Okay. And that's probably why it didn't make it on the. Maybe that's why
it was there. I mean, if you want, we can go back.
No, I
and look at it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting bike.
I'm sorry.
Can you see that? The guy walks it and then hangs.
Oh,
instead of pedaling.
It is kind of interesting. I could see going uphill would be kind of tough.
What?
Oh, it's a Google Plus.
Here, I just shared it. If you want to look.
If you shared it, I'll get it in a second.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna open up my stuff here.
It's like a scooter almost kind of thing.
Yeah, but you hang from it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to get uncomfortable pretty quick, though.
What do you mean?
With those straps, with your weight being on those straps?
It's hanging on your chest?
No, it's not. It's on his gut. One's across his gut, and the other's across his chest.
Yeah. I guess if you're not fat like me, then it probably wouldn't be a problem. But
I'm seeing it as a problem for myself.
We have Visit Alive. Just a FYI. You guys want it? Want to do it today?
All right. I think that sounds good.
Oh, did you see all of the benchmarking sites won't accept benchmarks from Windows 8?
Why?
Because...
Is this a news item?
No, I'm not doing it as a news item. Okay. Because if you benchmark Windows 8 and you downclock it...
It crashes?
No. And you tell it to do the benchmark and take 10 seconds. So it hammers you for 10 seconds and then it shows the benchmarks. Says you did this many processes and this many... But if you downclock the processor and do that, it'll say 10 seconds, but the test will really run for like, say, 13 seconds. So it'll do more processing because it's now run for an extra 3 seconds.
Oh.
And is that just a feature of Windows that you can do that now?
It's not a feature.
Or?
It's a glitch in their fucking system.
It's a sneaky thing for them to look better.
I don't think they did it intentionally. I think it's all totally bad coding. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you saw that. There's a group, project, or company that puts out a kind of. Let me just find it for you because I just found it this morning and I was busy with that stupid distro. But essentially, what it is this: they Lenovo has just approved them to put their product on all of the Windows 8 laptops that Lenovo ships. What it does is it puts it back to the classic Windows 7 look.
Oh yeah.
With the menu. Although the menu looks kind of cool, it reminds me of like, I don't know if it's not mint, but like cinnamon or some of those. It's got a nice look to it, kind of a Linuxy look to it as far as desktops that we see often. But yeah, so they just Lenovo is all their laptops are going to ship with this on there, so you don't see that clunky cube thing or that those squares and rectangles. It'll boot to that, or at least I think.
I remember there were rumors that they weren't going to allow to have things like that installed.
I'm sure that they were changing their mind.
Yeah.
Chatter's listening in, so he's heard our benchmarking talk.
He's like, not intentionally. No, of course not.
Yeah. So, but that's an interesting story, Matt. Okay, got 4 minutes. Do we have the episode name?
Thank God Tony's back.
Because I was going to say, well, yeah. Yeah, okay, well, thank God Tony's back.
No, what if we don't have to do that?
No, mine isn't appropriate. It's Bye-Bye Balmer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm not even going to touch that story.
Yeah, no. I'm going to...
It's not open source.
I'm going to just... Well, okay, if no one's going to talk about it,
you can if you want.
I'm not going to talk about it as a news story exactly, but what was interesting about it is that when it was announced, their price, Microsoft's stock price, shot up.
Yes, it did.
And I
read like 3 different articles on it.
Yeah, I don't follow their stock, of course, but I follow the NASDAQ, which their stock is listed.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I'm working, but I get this little feed thing, and all of a sudden the NASDAQ is just going up. And I was busy, so I didn't really check out. Usually, if the NASDAQ is plummeting, I then go find out what's going on. But it was going up, and I was busy, and I just thought, I'll have to check and see what it is. Well, what it was
Microsoft.
Yeah. So that was very funny. That's the only thing I was going to say about it.
TGTB. Okay, Chatter, I give up. What is TGTB?
Too good to be.
Oh, too good to be true. Okay, I get it. Mary helped me out.
As usual.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another audio test.
Audio test.
Test 1,
the
2,
audio.
3. Test 1, 2.
How's the audio sound, Chatter? Are we all level? Are we all good?
Yeah,
What's
Chatter.
going on?
You're our
Waka waka.
You're our tester in the
Fozzie
wild
Bear.
there.
Woo woo woo.
Matt's a little high here.
Shrieky? Or just the sound is high?
The sound is high.
He had his lounge voice, I think, all of last week. I'm editing it, and I'm thinking, wow, Matt is really sounding kind of low here. And I didn't...
Right.
So.
Did you guys use the mics for the Google Hangout? Because it sounded like it. Oh,
no.
The Snowball?
We used the Snowball, and we used our mics.
We had both of them plugged in, So whatever one it picked to use, that's what it used.
Well, the reason I asked about the mics because when Mary got closer to her mic, then you could hear you better. So I'm pretty sure you were using your built-in.
Yeah.
Or
We don't know because
mics.
Mary plugged them both into the laptop. So whichever one it decided to use, that's what it used.
Yeah. Believe me, we were on a shoestring. But I'm hoping that when we go to Atwater, Matt, that they have that double IPA, because do you think you'd like that, or is that going to be
I don't
too
know.
much?
I saw a new one from Atwater the other day. What was it called?
Yeah, they had a huge list of beers that they had available. Oh,
It
that
was in Meyer. They had a whole fucking
Oh,
pallet of it.
Oh, State Fair?
Yes.
Yes.
State Fair IPA.
Yeah, they had some, well, at the new Meyer by the State Fairgrounds.
Old State Fairgrounds. The State Fair is now
Okay,
out in Novi.
Mary and Tony are both pretty faint compared to Menders.
See?
Huh.
You got it.
Okay.
Because I'm not talking. Is this any better?
Yeah, because Tony's not talking. But I was talking.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to mess with the EQ, see if I can bring down the fan noise.
Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test.
All right.
Test. Do you want me to keep talking?
No, you're right.
We're fine. Okay. Tony, you and I were fine a few minutes ago, according to Chatter.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, all right. We just want to try.
But how are they now?
Still faint.
Still faint. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so we were.
He said you were better before, but now you're faint, is what he's saying. The two of you are faint.
Oh, it's probably because I turned it down a little bit.
Yeah, turn it back on.
How about this, Matt?
You know, there.
Let's do another
All right,
test.
Chatter, how's that? Anybody who's listening in?
Count to 20.
1, 2,
You too.
3,
1,
4,
2. You
5.
should talk, Tony.
Oh,
1,
7,
3,
8,
9,
9,
10,
5,
11,
6,
13,
7, 8,
14,
14,
20,
20,
21,
17,
57, 86.
Hike. So
The left-right balance was fine before, but I'm assuming that means it's not now.
Yeah. I think the
You're
luster's
still faint.
come off.
The two of you are still faint, he's saying.
Okay. I'm still faint. Well, I think I've done everything I can at my end, except talk louder. That would not be good.
All right, Chatter, are you using, what are you using to play us? If you're using VLC, then just turn your one side up a little bit because we need to get the levels right for our recording. And I can't, I can't split the right-left on
but you could
for
bring
just
me
the hangout.
down a little and you up a little.
He's using M-Player in a terminal.
Okay.
Wow, that is hardcore. All right.
Actually, I was thinking, see, I'm way too high right now.
Are you?
All right. I was thinking that instead of using two audio on when I get that laptop set up for for you guys.
Can barely hear Tony SMLR. So.
Instead of using a second audio device, yes, and I can hear me through my headphones. But instead of using the second audio device, you can use MPlayer to grab the audio from Google and then rebroadcast that through our streaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that was a problem for the last 2 weeks. IRC was pretty disappointed there was no butt streaming, but
wow.
I'm surprised because I didn't think anybody really was looking for that except for maybe like
We're
2 people.
We're doing it today though, right?
Yes, it's running right now.
Okay.
Maybe there's a setting on butt.
Oh.
You can't really make out your words at all.
Should we? And we're already broadcasting on the Hangout, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're
That's
both.
where he's actually listening to us.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was.
No, he's on the audio stream, not the Hangout.
Is he?
Yeah.
Chatter, which one are you on? I thought he was on the Hangout.
Once again, Matt is wrong.
I'll admit it when I'm wrong.
Oh,
It's not a big deal. But
let me break M-Player and reconnect. Okay, he's gonna reconnect on his end.
All right.
Maybe it's on
We'll
his
see.
end.
Okay. Let's see.
reconnected, no difference.
Yeah.
Where's the settings button?
Well, I'm just gonna pour some more coffee.
Okay.
Tony, you want to warm up?
I'm gonna have another beer.
Oh, you know what? I think I
good
know what the
boy.
problem is.
What?
All right. Now how is it?
Okay.
How's it now,
How's
Chatter?
it now?
Yeah, it probably had something to do with the headphones when I plugged that
It
in.
was taking some of the audio signal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That makes sense to me.
that's part of the problems with our other mixer that you guys were using.
Right.
Okay.
Is because
So when
it
you-
splits everything
Right.
right there, where this has
Oh.
separate outs.
He says
Okay.
no difference.
No difference.
Didn't help.
All right.
I'm glad
Can I have some hazelnut stuff?
Yes.
Sorry.
When you go in the refrigerator, grab a beer.
Yeah. I'll pass it. Ooh, there's more in there.
I know I brought a 12 pack.
Oh.
That's
German sapphire hops. Wow.
good stuff.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much.
Mhm.
He says everything is in the left channel,
Everything is. Okay.
so he's not getting any right channel at all.
Right channel, right channel. Can you understand that? No, I'm just joking with you. It wasn't English.
Oh, we couldn't
And
understand
I don't
it.
know any other languages, so as far as I can tell, it was no language. Pan. All right, so our recorder is showing fine. I know what the problem is. Nope, that's not it. Never mind.
Okay.
Let's try this. How is that now? Did I
How's
blow
that?
out your
Test,
ears with switching
no
the?
right channel audio, correct.
That was a previous message.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I was just talking so we could hear to see if.
Oh yeah, and it's showing on our output
He
here
says
that
yes,
it's showing
you have
both.
fixed it.
Oh, okay.
All
cool.
right.
I wonder if my
No, here's
splitters.
fine.
I wonder if my splitter
Split
is
it.
going
Split.
bad.
Oh, okay.
It's going bad. Like it's only showing the one
Oh, maybe.
channel.
But if you look at the
Yeah,
the
here
readout,
it's showing both right now.
Yeah, but
where
look
before.
at the top one. The top one has got a lot more.
Yeah, he
signal
says
coming through
it totally fixed it when you took that splitter out.
it. Okay.
Yeah, well, what it is, Mary.
Okay,
So the top
great.
one is
Yeah.
you and I, and the bottom one is Matt.
Oh.
That's right and left channels.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Hey, we're ready to go.
All right, 5 minutes
All
over.
right, thanks a lot, Chatter.
I kind of
And
missed the microphone though. We have for a couple of years.
we're recording.
Where is it?
Or we are recording, so
Okay,
we're safe
good.
there.
All right.
And both Hangouts are going.
Okay.
Let me show that we are. I got to post in the channel that we're going live.
Whether they want us to or not.
Let's see.
A bunch of our regulars aren't with us.
Jess and Promise. Who?
Jess, who's been really regular, is not
Yeah.
here.
Well, maybe
Maybe there's some doings in Belgium.
that could be. I changed my icons, and the folders are now brown. I've had blue folders for
Denmark.
years.
I'm sorry, Cheddar. Thank you. I knew it was one of those little insignificant European countries.
Oh my god! Oh. There we go.
I cracked myself up.
We call him Mr. UN. Well, I've been there, and it's a great little country, Denmark.
If by great you mean insignificant little European country, sure.
Yeah,
So-
it's a wonderful place. Been to the Netherlands, been to Belgium, been to Germany, been to France, been to Scotland, England. They're all great little countries.
My cousin's in Dublin. And she was
Ooh.
having some Irish, or some Murphy stout.
Yeah.
She said,
Murphy
last beer
stout.
before I leave.
Oh.
I don't know. It said it was Murphy's. I'm sure they make more
Was
than
she
just
in
stout.
the Temple Bar area, which is a kind of a
I don't know. I'm
trendy-
just seeing what she's posting.
Kind of
Yeah, but
trendy-
she's in Ireland. I'm sure she's having a stout. Those Irish guys are all about their fucking stout, ready
Oh.
beer.
Oh, I want to tell you something. Remember when you were talking about having to jump in, something had failed, you had to run out. Remember last week, and you dropped the F-bomb in there, and Here's another beautiful editing thing I did, because then you said effing a little bit later. What I did is I just widened out that spot. I cut out the F-bomb, dropped in effing, put it back together again, and you could not tell.
I did hear that. That was a good job. You did a good job.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that edit.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with the way it turned out. How did you know? Because you listened to the original?
Well, you mentioned it.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
your
yeah.
email, and then I listened to it, and that was at the beginning. I did see it in the video.
Okay.
Because it was there in the video.
It was in the video.
All my F-bombs are going to be in the video.
Yeah.
So if you want the real show, watch the video.
the raw and edited show.
That's right.
SMLR raw. But I was pretty happy with how that turned out. I mean, I kind of got into editing.
What I can't believe, though, is that reviewer that reviewed us dinged us for my occasional F-bomb.
Oh,
but didn't say one word about freaking that, what's his name?
Fab from...
Yes.
Yeah, Linux Outlaws.
Yeah.
He swears all the time.
Fab's a little more freewheeling with his F-bombs. All right, I think we got to get going here, guys.
All right, you're right. Yeah, we're 10
minutes
past
over.
due.
Yeah, we're apologizing to everybody who's listening live, but you heard what happened. So, all right, we're back.
All right, you guys ready?
The Vikings.
Ready.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
The Vikings are from Minnesota.
No, football, American football.
All right.
I'm going to Iceland. I think I told you that.
Yes, you are. I always wanted to go to Iceland.
I'll take pictures.
Oh, I thought
I want to go in the winter.
It said Ireland.
Is when I want to go.
Yeah.
Not in the summer.
Ice something. I thought that's what you put in there.
No, that R is a C.
Oh, that's right. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Iceland. All right.
Let's get going. All right. Welcome to the Sunday Morning Linux Review. This is Tony Bemis.
Matt Enders.
And Mary Tomich.
And this is episode 98.
Yeah.
Thank God Tony's back.
Yeah, that's all we'll say. We're just we're gonna move on. So we got all of our regular stuff is up and running.
Yeah, we got the live audio, on streaming with using our butt streamer.
Broadcast using this tool.
That's right.
Just want to clarify that.
And
actually we're streaming from Tony's butt.
In case any of my friends happen to listen to this, just so they understand, that means broadcast using this tool.
That's right. And then the server that's running the broadcast is
the butt server.
No, it's actually Raspberry Pi. And unless he's changed it in the last couple of weeks, and
that's pretty cool.
He just moved it to the Raspberry Pi, I thought.
He moved it
to the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, he moved it to the Raspberry Pi about 2 months ago, I think. But yeah. So I think we're...
All right, let's catch up on last week. Now, you were on vacation, Tony.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 weeks for me.
Yeah, so
Mr. Vacation.
Fill us in there, Mr. Vacation.
You were without the
Wisconsin.
Tell us.
I went...
Without the internet thing. Tell us about that.
I went an entire week without the internet.
Can't do it. I'd have had withdrawal. I'd have been shaken by day 2.
Well, we left my house at 1 a.m. to drive out to Wisconsin, which ended up being almost a 10-hour drive.
10 hours to Wisconsin?
Yeah.
You stopped a lot.
Well, we did stop for a while. We stopped for like an hour and a half at one point.
From here to Des Moines. And I know Wisconsin.
Yeah,
well, Des Moines.
But Tony follows the speed limits. It's 5 hours to Chicago.
Where in Wisconsin?
The southwest corner. So it was like Dubuque area. So it's almost the same distance.
Maybe.
A little bit.
I used to make the morning in 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, we would have done it in 8 hours, but we stopped for an hour and a half in Dubuque, and well, we drove slow because we wanted to save on gas. We had no reason to speed and get there fast. But the kids slept through the night, so that was a convenient time to drive. We did the same thing coming home, but from when we left until we got home, I had no internet, and it was actually kind of freeing. It was just sit back and and you guys were freaking out, and I'm like, well, I'm on vacation.
Did you know we were freaking out?
No, I didn't know until I came back.
You just knew based on previous experience. Oh, they're back there freaking out.
Right.
And you were right. Well, no, for episode 97, we kind of, because every time we have to start up stuff from the box.
Oh yeah.
The our podcast box, it's always kind of messy.
And Mary goes into beaker mode really quick.
Well, it's because I know we're going live and we're not like only halfway ready. It's
Yeah.
I know we're going to be
Oh
late.
no, we've got to be on at 8:30. Mary, calm down. If it's 8:45, 9 o'clock, who cares?
I have a date. Well, anyway, so I'm not surprised, Tony, that it was kind of a freeing thing because I think that it would be.
No, I'd have been going nuts.
You know,
I couldn't do it. I couldn't literally. I would have had to find the internet somewhere.
Well, I have this like two sides of me, and one side is I can completely unplug and move to the UP and be happy with
Hunting
just
and fishing.
I have that side
fishing
too.
And the UP.
I
and
love to be out in the middle of
me-
nowhere and stuff. I agree.
Let me just clarify for anyone who's not familiar. The UP is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
That's
Yes.
right.
Just to
Yeah,
be
and it's
simple.
It's the wilderness.
very low
Yeah.
populated, right? And
Yeah.
and I could live in a cabin, and stay up there for years.
I agree.
And then I have times when I come home, and then I surround myself by computers, and all
And
day
you're
I'm
loving
working
it,
on
right?
computers
No.
at work, and
I-
it's
you're loving
fun.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Because my ideal location is above the Arctic Circle in
Is the-
Alaska.
It's the middle
No,
of the data
really,
center.
that's where I want to go.
Oh.
I watch it on National Geographic all the time. They have that ice something or other, I think they
Ice
call it.
truck.
No,
ice
not
road
ice truckers. It's
truckers
these
or
people that
whatever.
all live near the Arctic Circle, either
Okay.
just above it or just below it.
They live on the ice, right? Their cities on
No,
the
No,
floating
they
ice.
live in Alaska. They're on land,
Oh,
but they all live up there.
Mhm.
And that's where I want to live. However, I would need the satellite.
Need
the
a
internet.
T1.
Oh, I would have to have some type of satellite internet connection. It's not happening unless I can have a satellite internet connection.
Yeah. Well,
So-
in Iceland, the north side of Iceland is right at the Arctic Circle, so which is where I'll be going. So anyway, Tony, well, I'm not surprised that you kind of enjoyed it. There are just days where I just think, oh, I don't want any of that stuff.
right.
Good books and magazines, just people around having a good time.
Hmm.
And then there's Matt, who's sitting in the middle of the data center.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's like I get caught up in
And
the.
I've looked for jobs. I've searched on Alaskan data centers. There are no data centers in Alaska except for one data center run by the state of Alaska.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It seems to me that'd be a good place to put one.
Google, however, did build one up by the Arctic Circle, but it's in Canada.
Did you see, speaking of
Mm.
Google, did you see that they were out for a short period of time this past week?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the internet,
Internet traffic went down by
No,
like
by-
30%.
no, it was 40%.
40%?
Yes, that's
Jeez.
the news article I saw. Which
The
was
one I
kind
saw
of-
said 30.
Okay, they probably hadn't finished counting, but man, 34, that's still a lot, at least
Yeah.
a third. So anyway, well, so Tony, thanks for. But the vacation overall was a lot of fun. I bet the kids
Yeah.
loved it and all that.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
All right. Well, I got just one little. Well, I did all my show stuff, but this week the KDE project released KDE Media Center 1. I think it's 1.1. So I installed it, and it's a pretty good starting point for that type of capability. But it's not.
It's meant to navigate with a remote control. Like
Oh
with
yes.
TV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So I installed it on my desktop. So I had to use, pardon the expression, huge ass icons.
Yeah.
But what was really nice is they scaled beautifully. I mean, they didn't. They weren't those bitmap things. That
No,
are
because
just
they
big
use
and
vector.
clunky.
I'm pretty sure they use vector graphics for their icons.
Yeah, they
That's
do,
cool.
and they looked really good. I've played movies and everything, but again, it's definitely designed for a large, for television, that type of thing. So, but I did play around with it a little bit, and it's really a good starting point. I think I'll be interested to see how that project progresses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that when I'm ready to surround myself by computers, home theaters are always fun for me to play
Mhm.
with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my TV at my room there is taken to occasionally having no picture. I don't really care.
Is it what, a flat screen or?
No, it's a tube
Tube?
TV.
Oh.
I
Sometimes
offered you
it
one of my old TVs, and you said it was too big.
It was too big.
What was it, like a 30-inch, I think I was going
Yeah.
to give you?
Hey,
Yeah.
Matt, for probably less than $200, you can get a nice little 21, 23-inch
Yeah,
TV.
for less than that, I can go to Salvation Army and get one.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
know.
I
Well,
bought a refurb
But see, that's
Hitachi.
the thing about me and the TV is I have it on all the time, but it's there for just the background, so it doesn't matter to me actually that there's no picture. It's
Mhm.
just on there for noise
Mhm.
because I'm on the internet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I live on the internet at home.
Mhm. All right. So So what else did you do last week besides living on the internet with TV playing?
I did an rsync last night that went totally 100% smoothly, except I took the wrong server down at first.
All right, we won't tell a soul.
No, don't tell anybody. When I was hooking up to the back of the server, I was reading the tag for the server I was supposed to be hooking up to, and I was actually hooking up to the one above it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it wasn't really clearly delineated where one server started and the other server ended?
Yeah, it was pretty clearly delineated.
All right.
You chose to just plunge on.
It was a mistake. I'm just,
Yeah, what happens?
I'm sorry, but it happens.
Stuff happens. So, okay.
So they got an unintentional reboot. Because you know how I discovered it? I had plugged the live
customer called in?
No. I had plugged the live USB into the front of the server, and then I'm working at the back of the server. And and
you're not seeing the.
And I took it down, and when I brought it back up, I hit F11 to choose the boot device, and I'm looking for the USB. Where's the USB drive? It's not there. So I went around front, and I took the USB drive out, and I'm like, well, I'll plug it in the back. Maybe the front USBs are broken or something. And I got around back, and I'm starting to plug in, and I'm like, where are the monitor and the keyboard plugged? And they're in the server above it, and I'm like, oh shit!
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Yeah,
all right.
Totally me.
Yeah. Well, I always view you as Matt. You're totally competent.
I'm pretty competent, yeah.
Every once in a while, you have these little moments, But I guess we all do.
Plugged it into the wrong server.
I'm kind of the other way, totally incompetent. But I have sometimes moments of competence when it comes to computers. So anyway, all right.
All right, and that's what I did.
All right. Well, I think it's time we're going to move on to something else, huh?
I was thinking we should talk about something.
The kernel review?
Well,
yeah,
actually, Ohio Linux Fest.
Ohio Linux Fest. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys are going to have to talk about it because I'm going to be in D.C.
You can still talk about it.
We're going to go.
You can say, I wish I was going.
Oh, yeah, I do wish I were going. And, if I'd probably paid a little more attention, I would be going, except as I probably mentioned before, it's my birthday weekend, and I'm going to D.C.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. We're going to miss you.
Yeah, well, I'll miss you guys, too.
We're going to be hanging out with some of the
bring a
Podnuts
3D
guys.
printer, I'll show up.
And I've already registered for the 102 exam.
All right.
Because that was the one I failed.
Oh,
okay.
The LPI.
You have to pass the LPI 101 and the 102 to get LPI level 1 certified. And last year I took them, and I passed the 101, but I failed the 102. So I have registered for the 102 again.
Okay.
This year.
And you've already got a whole
year. If I fail it
year
again this year, I'm giving the fuck up.
What time is it? Well, but you've got a whole year of data center experience and doing all sorts of server stuff, so you probably.
But I took a practice test last night at work.
Yeah.
No, not at work, because I was working diligently for the company while I was on the clock. But no, and you need 70.
It's on your lunch break.
Yeah, we don't get a lunch break. And
I'm trying to help you out.
Okay.
Not taking it. Okay.
And you need 70% to pass, and I got 67.5.
You and I had a plan to study.
Yeah.
And we got 3 months in, and then we.
Yeah, well, and also we had to start with the 101 test, because you need the 101 test.
Yeah.
So everything we did actually study was in the 101 test, not the 102 test.
Why don't I put together a plan for both of you to study? I mean, I'll put together.
It's a little late.
Are we gonna meet at your house?
Well, no, it's gonna be set up so that you don't have to. I mean, that it's really just as far as how you're going to do this, because I have a feeling that I could put together a project plan for you that would have you passing it.
That's making noise, Matt.
Oh. Sorry about that. I was scratching my finger with my beer cap.
Well, better to yours. Never mind. But anyway, all right. So, we might as well move on.
All right. Anyway, so we're going to Ohio Linux Fest. We're gonna be in the Drury hotel.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
That's where everybody's cool. That's where all the cool kids were last year.
That's right.
We were at the
Hyatt.
The Hyatt.
Yeah.
which was very nice.
Very
Thank
nice,
you for
quiet.
making those reservations, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's okay. I think I
Well,
tried.
it was the same hotel. It was the convention hotel.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, just it was
Well,
the
they
overflow.
both the Hyatt and the Drury
Yeah.
is
They're
But I
connected
did
to
not
the-
realize that the Drury was also connected.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh.
So
I think
all
the
the
Drury
pod
was-
nuts guys are going to be there.
It was
and...
full last year, and that's why I think we went to the Hyatt.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And we're going to, or at least we're going to try to get in there. I haven't made the reservation yet, but.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You better.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
at
trying
the
to.
Hyatt again, Tony.
I hope
I
not.
mean, the Hyatt didn't have free breakfast. The Drury had free breakfast.
I know, free breakfast, free parking at the Drury. Anyway, we're going to try to get in there. We're going to be going to dinner with the Tilts guys at Mongolian
barbecue.
Yeah.
Maybe I will have another Sunday.
Oh.
No. That's a bad
You'll have
idea.
a stroke 2 months later. I don't think so.
I don't think it contributed to the stroke. Right? The salty food probably more contributed to the stroke than the.
All right. Well, we probably should get rolling on to it.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's gonna be fun. If you're gonna be over there, look us up. And then we're gonna do.
Be there. Too bad for you.
Are we gonna do coffee and bagels on Saturday morning?
On when?
Saturday morning. Coffee and bagels.
I'm not buying them this year.
Well, we can split. Can we split? I'll buy some.
We'll see.
I'll buy half.
I am on a budget. So.
Okay.
Last year I was not on a budget. This year I'm on a budget.
All right, let's do this. Do you want me to throw in some money for it?
Sure.
I was gonna say, if you was gonna say no, I was gonna say you're fooling. Tony's a smart guy. Because I could throw like $20 in toward it. Would that help?
Last year it cost like $130.
Oh, did it?
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
So we may just have coffee.
Yeah. Oh, but wait a second, you guys. We had a ton of bagels left over.
We did. Yeah,
so I'd say you could. Okay.
And it's what it was a Einstein Brothers. What was it?
Yeah. I think
okay, so we can check the prices out.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it.
Okay.
So we're gonna be there. Come look us up.
And bagels may be there too.
Yeah. All right. So we're going on to the Colonel News.
On to the Colonel News. What?
I'm just thinking last week was Colonel News. Oh, Colonel and no corn. When I was editing this show, I just cracked up every time I heard that. I don't know why.
Oh, Colonel and no corn.
Yeah, remember that? You said
No.
Got a lot of Colonel News, and I said, never mind, just go to your news.
There was that comment in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That was
listened to it. I heard it.
You lying
Anyway.
sack of, you know what? You lying sack of Colonels. All right.
We had a release candidate on Sunday, 18th of August, 2013 at 15:12 Pacific Daily Time. Linus Torvalds released Kernel 3.11-RC6, and here's what he had to say about it. It's been a fairly quiet week, and the RCs are definitely shrinking, which makes me happy. Sure, we had an interesting rang handling bug in TLB invalidation code, but that was an older bug and apparently really hard to hit in practice. That said, it could explain a couple of random SIG-SEG V's, etc. So if you've seen odd behavior, maybe you've been hit by it. And 3.11-RC6 will fix it, knock wood. Other than that, it's more random changes, network drivers, USB, sound, and a few file system fixes with x86 ARM and a few small M68K updates. But it's really been pretty quiet. The appended short log gives the details for those who care. And since the statistics on this RC were pretty boring, I started looking at bigger numbers. We've now used Git for over 8 years, and we have almost 400,000 commits in that time. That's interesting to me, because back in the BK days, we were approaching the back then limit of 65,000 commits in BK. In 3 years we used it. So we've long since blown through that limit. And those almost 400,000 commits They all fit in a 575 megabyte pack file plus an 85 megabyte index file. Now, that's with more aggressive packing than most people probably do, but I think it's interesting how the last 8 years of very active history ends up having almost exactly the same size as the whole unpacked source tree. In fact, I think that you need more free space for the object files of doing a build than you need for remembering all that history. I'll try to remember to do some more interesting, relevant statistics for the RC7 release, because that should coincide with the 22nd anniversary of the original Linux announcement on Comp OSI Minix. How time flies when you're having fun. Linus Torvalds. So the main line is 3.11-RC6. Our stable updates on Tuesday, the 20th of August, 2013, at 8:59 Pacific Daylight Time, Greg Hartman released kernel 3.4.59 with 38 files changed, 261 lines inserted, and 145 lines deleted. On Tuesday, the 20th of August, 2013, at 11:40 Pacific Daylight Time, Greg Hartman released kernel 3.0.93 with 17 files changed, 148 lines inserted, and 21 lines deleted. And on Tuesday, August 20th, 2013, at 15:44 Pacific Daylight Time, Greg Hartman released kernel 3.10.9 with 2 files changed, 1 line inserted, and 8 lines deleted. Our kernel developer quote of the week is, that's all for the kernel news.
All right.
There's no kernel developer quote of the week.
Usually you say there is no kernel, but you just...
Yeah, I know. It was supposed to be funny.
Well, but my problem is I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
So I didn't get a chance to laugh. Huh. Well, thanks, Matt. That's, as always, we appreciate your very on-point kernel news.
Yes, thank you, Matt.
All right.
All right. So this week we have so many distro releases that it has fallen off the page.
Fallen off.
So
I had to go scrambling around on the floor. No, I went back a little bit, and the latest one or last one that I could find is it Parsix or is that?
we covered Parsix last week. That was the last one we covered. Yes.
Right, and I couldn't tell whether the two that are off the page are development.
I think they're development. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't cover those.
The one is definitely development. So
if it doesn't appear in the big main screen in the middle, the center, we don't talk about it.
All right.
All of a sudden, we start talking about the stuff on the left.
No, the only reason that we're going to the left is because it was.
We actually have gone back when it's gone off.
I usually
because there's so many. That's the only reason. Anyways, let's go on. So on the 19th we have Manjaro Linux.
No,
0.
we don't. Do we?
On the 19th.
Development release.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
All right. The luster's off the halo.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, so am I getting too beaky? What is it? What is that thing? Beaker? Oh.
Beaker.
Beaker. I don't listen to that thing.
Beaky is the present tense of
Beaky.
No, I'm just
I have
joking.
no idea what that is.
I'm just joking. All right, let's go on. So our first distribution release is on the 19th. We have OS 4 Open Linux 13.7, and also OS 4 4.1.4, the Enterprise Edition. And it's OS 4. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say a little more, but well, as always, I always have something to fill in. You know, Mary abhors a vacuum. Anyway, this release, and I think the KDE or the notes there say it, but they have transitioned away from XFCE to KDE on their enterprise release, and so the enterprise customers wanted it, and they're providing it. And one thing they've done too, and it was pretty interesting, you know, KDE 4.11 just came out, and this release has 4.11. They also they also have, and I don't know if this was a typo or not because I didn't download and install it to check it. LibreOffice 4.1.0.4. I was not aware of a 4.1 release for LibreOffice, but they've got it. They've got it listed on there. Let's see here, and I think that was pretty much all that I had noted. They've got Skype on there now, but when you think about what the big customers want, I guess Skype is. We are probably concerned about it, but
right.
Enterprise customers, Skype. Whatever.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, going on, right? Or I'm sorry, were you finished?
Yeah, I am. I mean, even their beta testers, their XFCE beta testers really like the KDE, how they've taken and put KDE in place on this.
Cool.
I was impressed.
Yeah. All right. On the 19th also is LXLE 12.04.3, which is a Ubuntu-based distro for aging computers.
Yeah. They I went up to their website and took a look around, and they've got kind of this philosophy they've put in place, which is they say here, just because a computer may be aging, it shouldn't hinder your workflow. So what they've really done is they've taken and actually I think it's called Paradigm, which really makes sense because they've taken that philosophy.
Is that how you say that?
Paradigm.
Is that really how you say that?
Are you mocking me?
No.
Yes.
I've always said it paradigm.
Paradigm
Really?
shift.
Like
yes.
a paradigm shift, yeah.
Yes.
I never knew that. Whenever I read that, I always read it as paradigm.
Well, carpe diem.
All
right. Oop, something just fell on the floor. I bet that's going to be a noise.
That was your microphone.
Yes.
Switch.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll keep going on here. Now, a couple of changes, though, from their previous version. They dropped. One thing they've wanted to do is they wanted to keep the release or the ISO kind of small, but they also have trying to balance. If you're using an older computer, they want to make sure that if they're able to skinny things down here without affecting your workflow and your interaction, they should be able to boost it over here. So some of the things they've done, for example, VLC is dropped for Totem because of size. They dropped LeafPad for Get It. They also
Gedit.
Get it, Gedit. Yeah, tomato. They dropped
Paradigm.
Yeah, that too. Hey, they dropped Chromium because of weight. So, and they added a disk usage analyzer, which maybe is helpful. But they used to have the Deep End Software Center, which is really a nice software center, and they dropped that for the Ubuntu Software Center again because of weight. They're kind of continually doing this balancing act so that older computers can use this distro. So, probably more than you wanted to know, Tony.
No, it's very cool. And then continuing, we have on the 21st we have Proxmox 1.3, the virtual environment. No, you don't think so?
No, I don't think it's 1.3. No.
It's 3.1. Proxmox 3.1 virtual environment.
There you go.
Which is a Debian-based distro offering complete server virtualization management solution based on KVM and containers. Yeah,
and they've got a pricing plan if you want to get the supported version, and it goes from 4.13 euro a month up to 66.33 euro a month. And what's helpful is that they've also got a kind of a grid to show you what's included with each level. So I mean, there's really not much more for me to say about Proxmox because I would probably never use it, but I'm sure it's a fine distro.
Very cool.
For its purpose.
Well, it's siloed.
Yeah.
Yeah, using those containers. All right. Then next we have a BSD release, which is NetBSD 6.1.1.
Does anybody use NetBSD?
I think embedded applications do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe embedded.
Or
they have they have kind of, I'll say 3 versions, but and the NetBSD current is the main development branch. It's basically the bleeding edge. So if you really want to stay on the cutting edge, you use that one. And one of their fixes, I'll mention this because we talked about, remember last year we talked about NIL-FS, which is the NTT, I think that's the Japanese telephone company. They came out with NIL-FS, which is a journaling. It takes snapshots every few seconds and does this whole rigmarole to provide you with a good log and journal of the file system. This release of NetBSD fixes a serious file read problem that was due to, and they go into what it was, and they also got the it's 45605 if you want to really go in and take a look at it. But it was interesting to see that they've got NIL-FS as one of their options. So anyway, and NIL-FS was new implementation of a logging file system. Okay.
All right. And our next one, I know I'm going to say it wrong. It's Antergos.
Antergos?
Antergos?
Yeah.
Antergos.
Yes, Antergos.
And version is 2013.8.20.
Right, and it's previously known as Synarch.
Yep. Because I've done 2 reviews. I did the Synarch review last year, and then I think I did a mini review of Antergos this year just to kind of see how things had changed. What's interesting about this release is that they now provide, I think probably due to customer demand.
I'm sorry. I think we need to fix your mic. I think when you drop this, it's pulling over.
Oh, okay.
And you probably, when you put your foot down it.
All right. There. How's that?
That's much better. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Since we're taking a break and you're marking time.
Yeah, mark the time here. Let me readjust my mic.
I'm going to hit the head. So you guys keep talking about the distros and then go into your distro review.
Okay. And you'll be back. Okay.
Watch your step up there, Matt. I'm sorry. I have the light. It's just.
I'll be.
We hear it crash. We'll come running that. We'll come
running.
running.
We actually hit the ground. I'll slap the floor 3 times.
Okay.
I thought that was knocked 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
I do. Why don't you come get me?
He wouldn't be able to reach the ceiling.
That old song. Oh no, it's 2 times. Is it 3?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, you can't hear Matt, but he's singing from a distance.
And you are very lucky that you can't hear it. But I'll keep talking, just in the interest of moving this forward.
Let's start back at the beginning of when you're talking about Antergos. Yeah, so Antergos is Arch-based with Cinnamon as the desktop.
Yeah, and that, well, as I think it mentions too, is that it's the old Synarch. And one thing that's available in this particular release is that you can install well, they call it a base installation with no X servers, so you can just run. Yeah, you can just run it that way. Because they wanted to. Apparently, the community had asked the project maintainers if they could do this, if it could be managed through their installer, and it now is one of the options in the installer. So you can. So you're now able to choose base as your type of installation instead of one of several desktop environments.
Wouldn't that just be Arch at that point? Or is there more that goes into it?
It probably, that's a good point, Tony. It probably would be, but as far as this flavor of Arch goes, I remember going through the installer, they had several different desktops. I don't think this was an option there. So now but yeah, there's probably, it's probably pretty close to Arch. They may have some of their own, well, for example, they've got, although this is a GUI tool, it's a Remendo, which is an event handler to work with Pac-Man. Every time a user makes a Pac-Man call, sometimes there are new events and other kinds of things that the user needs to see. So what the project has done is they've put together this particular tool for them. So it's kind of nice to have, I guess.
All right.
And yeah, so the other thing about this release is it's the first release from the Antergos project to have the initial UEFI support. So now you're going to be able to choose from a parameter whether you want to have bias, UEFI or EFI, whether you want it to ask or you want none.
Oh.
So those are now available.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. And then we have XK, right? Solid XK is next.
Mm-hmm.
2013-08. And that was released on the 23rd. And it's just the latest update from the Solid XK. That's based on the Debian testing branch.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
no,
Matt.
go right ahead.
I don't want to cut you off.
Well, the reason it's called XK is because they have both the XFCE
yeah.
and KDE.
Oh, that's what you
That's what I was going to
Okay.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that they have got available here is it's called Whisker Menu.
Whisker Menu?
Whisker Menu. Oh, on the one whiteboard at work,
Yeah.
we draw humorous things and make humorous comments. And someone drew like a beard floating in the air and said, "You need one of these to work at Nexus because quite a few of us are bearded."
Mm-hmm.
And then said, someone underneath wrote, "Sexist," and with an arrow, pointing up. And then I commented, "No, women can have beards too." And then someone commented, "Not the women I know." And then I commented, "You just don't know the right women."
Wait a minute, you know me. Wait a minute. For the record, yeah.
For the record, she shaves regularly.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well, we're gonna continue on because I can see that conversation devolving into something we don't want. Anyway, but yeah, so this Whisker Menu is really kind of nice, and it's it's available with this distro. But I'm including, and I've already uploaded it to the show notes, a little article about Whisker Menu. It's got some screenshots and everything.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's really kind of nice, yeah.
All right.
So, but I thought Whisker Menu.
Gotta have a beard to work here.
All right. So next up we have MacPup 550, which is a puppy-based distro featuring customized Enlightenment 17.
Yeah.
I mean, MacPup would make me think it would run on Macs.
But no.
Puppy, but yeah.
Originally, that's what it was.
Puppy did.
No, MacPup was originally a Macintosh clone.
It's intended from the website. They say it is. MacPup is for PCs. It's not intended for use on real Macs. I think it was intended to look like it.
It was intended to be a Mac clone and to work on the x86 Macs, but not on the old PowerPC Macs.
Got out of that really well. And they also recommend, if you're going to run this, that you've got at least 256 megabytes of total system RAM for it. So,
all right.
I don't know if there are any systems.
Any current computer is going to have at least that.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the older computers, if you're trying to throw it on there, then you may have problems.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next we have Indian Firewall 2.5.2, which is a specialist distro for firewalls and routers. They have a corporate or a pay version where you can buy the hardware and everything, and then they have this download.
Yeah, they're actually based out of Italy, I found out. And they've got this let's see here. They've got this little, I won't say a virtual appliance, but it's they can manage as far as VPN switchboard. They've got a nice approach to letting users and groups. They each can access the network and define what permissions they have when connected, or at least somebody who's maintaining it can. And it also allows you to keep records for compliance purposes. So they've got some nice.
Compliance for what?
Probably corporate compliance.
PCI?
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea, Matt.
Because we have we're audited every year to make sure we're PCI compliant.
Yeah.
PC compliant?
No, PCI. It has to do with where credit card data is stored and who has access.
Oh, okay. And that could very well be part of it. I'm not sure.
Right.
All right. Okay.
And next we have a Ubuntu release. It's a point release, update release, which is 12.04.3. And I'm sorry, my cat is meowing, and we need to shoo her out. Go.
Go, kitty.
I'll get the door.
Hold on.
All right.
All right, taking a break.
Taking a break. Mark the time. pretty funny. Cat wasn't awake before.
She was in here before we started, and we talked about shutting the door, and so she couldn't get back in when we started, and then we never did it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like Tilts. One of the guys on Tilts always
need another beer?
has a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I don't know, Matt. We've got an hour before we're going to be leaving, and
I'm fine.
We've been instructed to make sure you don't drink and drive.
Who was that?
Yeah.
And they wanted Mary to not drink and drive.
Yeah, and I only had one beer. I only had one. I had one beer because I wasn't going to sit at the bar by myself for 2 hours.
I apologize.
Oh no.
Profusely.
And I didn't say it because of that. I'm only saying because of why I only had one beer. No, Matt. I mean, it's hard.
I just didn't put it on my calendar, and I totally forgot. So.
Yeah, no. But that's fine.
And for some reason,
I don't understand why the phone thing.
Yeah,
that's what really.
When I got home and got on the internet, then I saw all the text messages and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell? And I looked at my phone, nothing was there. And then about a half hour later, they binged into my phone. I don't get it at all.
Who's your provider?
Sprint.
Sprint is.
No, I'm almost always. That's how I know I got an email. My phone dings, and then I go and hit refresh, and then the email's there.
All right,
so
don't
that's
put
the way
this
it
in the
normally
final
works.
show.
No.
All right, we'll go back right into our distros here. Which one are we going to start? Ubuntu?
Ubuntu, yeah.
Start again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ubuntu had a distribution release?
No, point release. LTS.
Well, the LTS.
All right, we'll go back in.
Yeah, it was still a distribution release.
Yes. All right. So Ubuntu has a release this week. It's 12.0.4 or 12. I'm sorry. Start over again.
Yeah.
Ubuntu has a release 12.04.3, which is an update to their LTS. Yep, long-term support.
Good for them.
That's right.
They have a great installer. I'm just using that I'm just saying that now, and you'll see why later.
All right.
Fedora's installer is fantastic. The partitioner leaves a little bit to be desired.
The partitioner is part of the install.
Thanks, Tony.
Unless you go in at the command line beforehand with a live distro and partition the hard drive the way I do.
That's right. That's what everybody should do. Is have to have 2 operating systems to be able to get your Linux running.
But it's partitioned the way I want it. With F-disk.
And Ubuntu.
Thank you very much.
And Ubuntu, you can do it all from one disk, one boot.
Can't use F-disk to do it.
Sure.
You can drop it to a terminal.
Yes, Alt F4. And I'm sure you could do that from.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna.
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
The next we have is SlackL 4.0 OpenBox, and so it's a full release, which is lightweight Slackware based, with OpenBox as the window manager.
Yeah, one thing to note about SlackL ISO images, they're also called ISO hybrids, which means they can be, and this is something I wasn't completely aware of. I mean, I know that they can do this, but I wasn't aware of exactly how it's set up. It means they can be booted either from CD-ROM or from the device which BIOS considers a hard disk or zip disk, which could be a USB, thumb drive, whatever. But what an ISO hybrid does is it adds a partition table to the ISO while keeping it as a valid ISO.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's how that works. And their 32-bit images include both the PAE and non-PAE kernels for anyone who's interested in that.
Right.
So.
Well, most 32-bit images do, because nowadays, even if you're running 32-bit, you've got 4 gigs or more of RAM.
Yeah.
Right. That's when you need the PAE kernel.
Yeah. So anyway, but I thought that ISO hybrid thing, I mean, I knew that I could do it because I've done it before. I just didn't exactly know the nuance why.
Yeah, that's like at work sometimes when we do a RAM upgrade on an older machine, like say it's running CentOS 4.9, and we want to upgrade the RAM over 4 gigs, then we have to also make sure that we install the PAE kernel. So it can actually use the RAM.
I was talking about the ISO hybrid piece, but both of them are kind of interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
All right, and our last one on our list for this week was released on the 25th, which is this morning.
Yeah, it was.
And
just before I left the house, I think.
Yeah, and it's Open Media Vault 0.5, which is a NAS, a network attached storage, based on Debian.
And this is the inaugural release for the DistroWatch main page. You know, the center stage portion
Yes.
of it.
It's never made the main page before.
That's right. So, just for what it's worth. Okay.
Very cool.
So I guess we're moving on to
The
anything more? Is that it?
No, that was it for this. So now we need to go back for the top 5 for the week. Last 7 days. Are you ready, Matt?
I'm ready.
All right. Are
you
done?
must have been listening to the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had a few problems there, but
I think it's more like the last 2 months that we've had this issue. All right. Number 5, we have Manjaro with 1212.
And trending down.
Number 4 is Ubuntu with 1929.
And trending up.
Number 3 is Debian with 2041.
And trending down.
And number 2 spot is LXLE with 2303.
And trending up.
And in the number 1 spot is Mint.
Gotta love that minty goodness.
With 2871.
And even.
Even. All right.
Well, and of course, nobody mentions the fact that down at number, where is Kubuntu? It's down there someplace. Oh, it's you know, PCBSD is ahead of it for the last 7 days. Kubuntu's right on its tail at number 2032. I just can't believe it's so low, but
32,
that's just the last 7 days.
That's your 2 is NetBSD and, or not NetBSD, you want PCBSD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're right next to each other, Kubuntu and PCBSD.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now we are on to
Mary's thing. Do you have a review this week?
I do.
All right.
I do have a review this week. I'm back to my weekly thing. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't want you to get burnt out. You don't need to.
I'm already there. No, just kidding. All right, so this week's review originally started off, actually, it ended up, too, as a look at Snowbird Linux. I went through a number of changes as I looked at this distro, just due to what I encountered. But anyway, it's a look at Snowbird Linux, a Fedora-based distro that seems to have a lot of things going for it.
Fedora, which is at number 8.
Huh?
Fedora, which is at number 8.
Is it going up or down?
Fedora, which is at number 8.
It means it's not going up. Anyway, this has got the 3.10 kernel. It's a derivative of Fedora. With all that going for you, what could go wrong? Well.
Yeah, what can go wrong?
Well, we'll find out.
3.10 what?
I'll tell you in a little bit.
Because regular Fedora is on 3.10.9.
This is the one I reviewed is 3.10.4-300, so it's not too far behind. But anyway, so would Snowbird Linux fly high, or would I be left in the cold? Well, let's find out. First, the vitals. The distro name, of course, is Snowbird Linux 19 New Dawn, so it's based on, is it Schrodinger's cat?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, it's
So
based.
it tells me every time I log in.
Really?
Fedora 19, Schrodinger's cat.
Okay. And the maintainer is Amit Kalichern. The distro's latest birthday was August 11, 2013. It's a derivative of Fedora, which we've been discussing. I just mentioned the kernel. It's 3.10.4. And the review desktop is GNOME 3 with extensions. First, the live environment. Snowbird Linux isn't the fastest distro on the block when it comes to booting to the live environment. During the lengthy boot process, a small Frankfurter in a bun appeared on the screen, distracting me for a while until I...
Do you know why? It's a leftover from Fedora 18.
Is it?
Fedora 18 was the Beefy Miracle, and the mascot was a hot dog.
Oh, that's what it's
because
from.
John O'Bacon
Okay.
at the Ubuntu Developers Summit, when they had their costume party, dressed up as the Fedora.
Frankfurter?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds funny.
That is funny.
Well, now I understand because I just was completely unaware of that. Okay. And it distracted me. I mean, it was a cute little Frankfurter in a bun, but anyway.
I don't know why it's still there in Schrodinger's cat, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, it just is indicative of something. Just
They
kidding.
should have had a two-headed cat with one head alive and one head dead.
Oh, God, Matt, that is a great idea. Or like one
All
cat
my
there,
ideas are
or one
great
kind of
ideas.
fuzzy, like is it there or is it not there? You know, something like
Is that
that.
going to be your Halloween costume this year, Matt?
No.
No.
No. I'm kind of a round person. I may go as a beating miracle. No.
Spherical cow.
Spherical cow.
All right, we're going back to the distro review. But anyway, so yeah, so it distracted me for a while, and eventually I was shown a TeamViewer license agreement. TeamViewer, which is the utility that, it's a proprietary utility that allows you to remote connect to other computers. So that shows up, and I'm thinking, why do I want that? So of course, I decided not to accept it, and then I went to the desktop. Now, Snowbird Linux boots to a typical GNOME 3 desktop. The top panel has a notifications icon on the right, and an applications menu on the left, which drops down to show favorites, available desktops, and the applications. Now, they weren't categorized, but they just existed in one big GNOME bucket, as I'll call it. But it was, it's standard GNOME interface. Task panel at the bottom holds open applications. 3 icons on the desktop: home, trash, and install the hard drive. My graphics worked just fine. Oh, I thought I saved this. My graphics worked just fine. I had Nouveau, and because I put it on
the Nouveau driver, not the proprietary.
Yeah, it was a Nouveau, and also my wireless worked just fine too, and I connected. The defaults for browser, you've got Opera, Firefox, and Chrome, so you've got quite a selection there to choose from. The Office suite is LibreOffice, and that's 4.1.0.4, so it's really a late version of it. The email client is Evolution, and the file manager is Files. Okay, on to the install process. Snowbird Linux uses the Anaconda installer. Overall, I found Anaconda to be problematic and confusing at times.
It's Red Hat's installer. It's great.
It's not.
At the text version, the version with end curses is fantastic.
I'm sure that it is, but what was available to me on this distro was not the end curses version. It was a graphical installer, and it's, in my opinion, now again, I'm not knocking Fedora the distro because it is cutting edge. It's a major project. It's a nice distro, or you wouldn't be running it, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the installer. It's a mess. Anyway, I had to abort the install 3 times.
What? How did you mess it up?
Keep in mind, this is from the graphical installer, because it appeared to freeze.
Was it frozen? Because, even though you're in a graphical installer, a lot of times you can drop out with a Control-Alt and go to F2 or F3, and one of them is going to be logging the D message, so you can see what's actually happening. Well,
now you tell me, but anyway. but what happened is that for 15 minutes it sat at 1%. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to be an installer used on a major project like Fedora, you should at least, and you're going to use a progress bar or a progress indicator, you should show the progress instead of letting it sit at 1%. So I thought it died, and I thought, well, shoot, I'm getting out of this. This was after 20 minutes of 1%.
But did you drop out to another terminal?
For the record, and to prevent you from asking the question again, I never dropped out to any terminal. Maybe next time I'll try something like that. But again, I'm just doing it from a normal user perspective.
That's always when I'm doing an install. That's my first reaction when I see something that appears hung.
Yeah.
I try and drop out to another terminal and see what's going on.
But I normally use the Ubuntu installer, and I've never seen anything ever hang. So there we go.
So Ubuntu does one thing right.
Their installer is good. But anyway, but I use the Ubuntu version. All right, so it appeared to hung when I was attempting to rescan the disks, because there was a indicator there that I thought, I want to check this out after I thought it was hung, and then B, when I attempted to set the root user, it hung. I put my cursor over there. The cursor suddenly was frozen and wouldn't move until about 30 to 45 seconds later, when I suddenly was able to move it, and then C, just because it just hung. I think you get the picture. Language settings is the first screen, then followed by the installation summary. If you're not familiar with this installer, the summary, at least in my case, contained 4 categories: date, time, software, storage, and keyboard. A caution icon appeared on the storage category, which is also known as the installation destination, telling me that automatic partitioning was selected. Wow, I don't even remember selecting it. Wait, I never had the opportunity to select it. It just chose it for me. But then it tells you nothing will be done until you press the install button. So that's, small consolation. I clicked the storage, and a second window opened displaying a hard drive icon saying I had 1.26 gigabytes free. Well, technically I did, but it just failed to really open up to the partitioning manager at that point, but I did get there. So I selected the hard drive. Let's see, I selected the hard drive icon, which in turn activated a full disk summary and bootloader link at the lower left portion of the screen. I thought I'd have the opportunity to manage partitions on my hard drive at this point, but I was wrong. However, I did select the option to install a bootloader. And from this screen, there was no indications I could do anything with my partition, so I clicked Done, the only other option. And then up pops a partition manager. So it just seems to me that they should have all of that available on the screen without...
Some of that is Fedora, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's...
They switched the way that their partition manager operates with 19. And a lot, I don't use it because since 17, I have just used the upgrade option from 17 to 18 and 18 to 19. So I have not seen the new partition manager myself.
Well, I'll tell you.
From what I've read on the internet, it's pretty bad.
Let me tell you something. I never got it installed until this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm still trying to get this distro review done, because otherwise I was going to skewer it hugely. But yeah, again, it's not Snowbird's problem so much as it was the installer's issue.
Well, it's not the installer; it's that partition manager.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I don't know. It's a mess. No? It's a bloody mess.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe we have to beep that out because it's written bloody. But anyway, okay, so up pops the screen with the installation options, including a button that said Custom Partitioning. I clicked it. The next screen showed 2 unknown Linux and unknowns. That's all it said. It didn't say these are your partitions. It just said unknown Linux and unknown. These insightful headings represented my partitions, but I had to click the drop-down arrow to find that out. On my first install attempt, I decided to set up SDA7 as an XFS formatted destination point for Snowbird Linux.
Wait, XFS?
Yeah, that's an option.
You chose to use the XFS file system?
Yes. And I've used it before, and it works. I'm just saying that I just decided it was here.
An odd file system.
Well, I think it allows you to interact. BSD distros. I think XFS. Never mind. I'm not.
UFS.
UFS and ZFS are the 2 main ones. But I think if you format a USB drive to XFS, it's easier to. I don't know. I'm not going to go down that path because I don't know what I'm talking about. And Tony, if you can cut that out, that'd be great. But otherwise, it makes for a little laugh, I guess.
Right.
At my expense. Anyway, but after, let's see here. Yeah, so XFS is what I chose, just to see how that would work out. I figured at this point in time, why not? Why not fully bork it? After reconnecting to wireless and setting my time zone to Detroit, I clicked the Begin Install link, and the installation started. As I said before, twice the install died at 1% for no apparent reason. It just grinded. Now here's the odd part. I could hear the CD spinning around. I could hear the head accessing different spots on the CD, but 1%, 1%. 20 minutes later, 1%.
If you could hear what you thought was the head accessing the CD, I'm betting that was the hard drive. Yeah.
It was accessing the CD.
I bet it was the hard drive. If you can hear it, it's almost guaranteed to be the hard drive.
No, you can hear the CD going.
Yeah, just like that. Oh, there's a $5 bet.
Maybe.
I'm going.
Well, we'll never be able to prove it, but.
Yes, we could. We slap a install disc.
Well, you can hear the head from a CD traversing the.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But yeah.
Okay.
But I don't understand why. Oh no, I get it.
Because
it's reading the information that it's installing to the hard drive.
And then you watch the light. Yeah, then you watch the light of the hard drive. Anyway, okay. So the third time it was stuck at 9% for so long, over 30 minutes, at 9% that I considered killing it. There were 2 user tasks sitting on the install page. Set up your root user password and then set up a user. It was not clear whether you can complete these tasks while the install is happening, but as I said, every time I put my cursor over them, the cursor died. It would not move. So obviously that process was probably so far down on the list, it just never got used. Let's see, since it didn't say I couldn't use it, I assumed I could. However, every time I ran the cursor over those links, as I said, the cursor stopped as if frozen. The disk continued to spin and accessed stuff intermittently, giving me the impression something was happening, but I stayed at 9% for 40 minutes. I eventually gave up and rebooted my laptop. This section of my review is normally called the installed environment. So imagine my surprise when I rebooted and Snowbird Linux was listed in Grub. So I had installed the bootloader, and I booted to my newly installed Snowbird Linux desktop.
Gotta go with you on this one. That's pretty fucked up.
It was a mess.
I believe it.
Anyway, so yeah. Now, not the newly installed desktop. That worked beautifully. I mean, it's a nice desktop Fedora, just nice, fast, blah blah blah. But getting there was a mess.
Oh.
The install, as you can imagine, the install environment looks just like the live environment minus the install icon on the desktop. So anyway, but everything looked fine. I want to talk a little bit about the interesting programs I found, because I think Snowbird Linux, again, I don't know if Fedora has these installed by default, but I think Snowbird Linux, this is probably how it seeks to differentiate itself from Fedora.
If you want to talk about defaults, I don't know. I customize it pretty hard, even during the install. So
I had no option to do that, but that's probably because I wasn't using the Ncurses one. I was using that that crazy ass, pardon my language, Anaconda, which is just a horrible mess.
I don't know. I love Anaconda's Ncurses installer. It's really simple to use and pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, it comes installed with Handbrake, the DVD ripper. Yeah, I was very surprised. RealCrypt, which is an RPM Fusion rebrand of TrueCrypt, is already installed. Bluefish Editor, which is of course an HTML editor, that's installed. Not only Inkscape, but Ink, easy for me to say. Inkscape's like your statistics. Inkscape and Scribus are installed by default. I know.
Inkscape, Scribus though, that's kind
of a specialized tool for desktop publishing. Gobi. Now, have you ever heard of Gobi?
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 G-O-B-I?
G-O-B-B-Y.
No.
Gobi, or Gobi, is free software. It's a free collaborative real-time editor that's available in Windows, Unix-like platforms, and also it runs on OS 10 using Apple's X11.app utility. But what it allows you to do, it allows a number of people to basically collaborate within this window, this editing window. If you're writing on code, somebody's commenting on the code, you might be doing the actual coding.
Google Docs does that, where you watch everybody live make their edits.
Yeah.
And they're colorized.
Yep.
Everybody has their own color.
Exactly what this does, and it's very, very slick. And I'm sure Google Docs probably took it from here, I suspect, because this has probably been around for a while. But it's very, very nice. It also has OwnCloud desktop client already installed. It'll the wizard to walk you through to set up OwnCloud on your desktop. Meld, which is a diff and merge tool. Cheese, a web. I mentioned this only because it did not find my webcam, so that was a little nick, a little, little downside.
I always install Cheese, and the reason I install Cheese is just to make sure webcams are working.
Yeah, and it was already installed, but mine wasn't working, so I kind of laughed at that one, because once I got into the desktop, everything settled down, and Snowbird Linux is actually pretty nice, but you got to go through hell to get there. And then I mentioned TeamViewer already, which is a proprietary.
Do they present it as a new user kind of a distro, or as if you're an intermediate to advanced user, this is a distro for you? How do they present it?
It wasn't clear to me, but I would say that based on what I saw already installed, because there were some developers' tools already installed, that it's probably an intermediate user, and Fedora is kind of that way anyway.
Yes.
I think. So I think that Snowbird Linux is really following that idea. But my rating. This also has Project Libre, which is a project management tool. I'm familiar with it because I know it's already installed. That's why rating this thing was very difficult. Say what you will about Ubuntu, its installer is one of the best. Snowbird.
I'm not an Ubuntu fan, in case any of you don't know that.
Yeah,
but I'm not an Ubuntu fan, but I do have to give them props where it's due, and their installer is excellent.
Snowbird Linux is a very usable Linux distro, but it's hampered by an installer that sucks. And if there's any way that the Snowbird team can get rid of Anaconda and use...
No, Anaconda's great. There's got to be something they've done to it.
I don't know. It's not great. It's the worst installer I've ever seen.
Wow.
That's pretty bad.
It's bad.
Because you've had some distros that absolutely you couldn't get installed.
Yeah, this was bad because I got it installed, but it was hell. Where others, you know right away something's wrong because it just borks right away. This one, when you're spinning at 1% for 20 minutes or you're spinning at 9% for 30 to 40 minutes, there's something wrong there. And that's just uncalled for a distro that is as well known and as polished as Fedora is once you get it going. That's just terrible. But I think
Have you ever installed Fedora?
No.
I would go back.
Oh, way back when it was Fedora Core, like 3 and 4, but that doesn't even count.
I would go.
I've thought about this.
I would go back and just install Fedora and see how the installer works.
I think I will do that because it occurred to me, I didn't have time.
Because I think that these guys have maybe tweaked something that
they may have
is just effed it up.
Yeah. So as a usable desktop with all that stuff pre-installed, I give it a 3.5. But with that installer, I'm not even going to give it. But anyway,
0.
Yeah, but no, Snowbird Linux, really. If you can get through the install process, just know that if the CD quits working or quits spinning, and you're just sitting there and it says like 9%, you might have an installed.
It may have finished.
It may have installed. Yeah. So, anyway, that's it. That's
All right. Well, thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
That did a lot of interesting stuff going on with it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I liked it. I mean, and Gnome isn't that bad. I mean, but I understand why some people went crazy. Okay.
All right.
We're moving on.
Anyway, if you're watching the YouTube, then you probably noticed the camera almost died.
I saw that. And you've got the camera turned upside down and pointed at your chest. And
what it is
battery?
Yeah.
You plugged it in.
We're not actually using webcam. We're using my Android phone and using a program called DroidCam. And then it's through the network hooked to the desktop we're using. So it's in essence a wireless camera until the battery almost dies. And then you have to plug in for power.
DroidCam. I like that
idea.
idea.
It's pretty cool. And that's what we're broadcasting with right now.
Mm-hmm.
It works great in Linux. And it'll work anywhere there's Wi-Fi. The problem is that the microphone's not in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's walking around with the camera, then they can't hear or talk.
I see that as an on-the-fly security system that you could set up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stopwatch.
I don't know about that, but you're just,
What Matt's talking about is a little bit different. Copwatch is.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's where you follow and videotape police to keep them honest.
Well, I think most police are honest. There are a few bad
I think
apples.
you're mistaken.
No,
that's a different show.
Okay, we're not. Yeah, we don't want to get off on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess we're moving on to
the news for the week.
The news.
Yeah, Matt.
The news.
Matt snaps to attention. All right.
All right.
So regale us with your tales of news.
My regalia is about to start.
All right. Yay.
First up, we have Beam gets boost. Most of the employees of Willow Garage, creators of the Texi technology that powers Suitable Technologies' Beam robot, have gone to work directly for Suitable Technologies. The device uses Wi-Fi or 4G LTE connection that runs on a Linux-based system to allow a remote operator to be present. You guys read this over. Right. I burped like 3 freaking times.
I was gonna make some comment. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, all done burping?
I'm all done now.
All right, good.
I was trying to suppress it, but it just wasn't working.
Yeah, you could tell. Need
First,
pats on the back for that?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
First up, we have Beam gets boost. Most of the employees of Willow Garage, creators of the Texi technology that powers Suitable Technologies' Beam robot, have gone to work directly for Suitable Technologies. The device uses Wi-Fi or 4G LTE connection that runs on a Linux-based system to allow a remote operator to be present via a low-latency video conference type connection. The company says the goal is to provide a real physical sense of presence that can make professionals in many fields more productive and efficient while also eliminating travel costs.
Excellent reading of that article, and I just want to say I apologize for sneezing. I hope it didn't get too loud.
Whatever. But no, this is a really cool tool. Like I've embedded
Yeah.
lots of links into the article on the website. So if you go to the article on the website and click those links, you can actually go and see videos of this thing in action, and it is really cool.
Great.
I love it.
That does sound good.
It's pricey. I think it starts at $16,000, but it's a really cool device. And next up we have, and another one bites the dust. Grok started by paralegal Pamela Jones, aka PJ, on May 16, 2003, as a law blog. They gained notoriety with their outstanding coverage of the SCO Linux lawsuits. This is how Jones described the site: a place where lawyers and geeks could explain things to each other and work together so they'd understand each other's work better. When you have an idea you hope might work, and then to implement it, tweak it, and morph it because other people show up and have ideas that are better than yours, and then have people you care about and admire tell you that what you are doing matters, I can't think of a more satisfying feeling. Pamela Jones made the decision on August 20th, 2013.
So I'm quitting it.
Yeah. Pamela Jones made the decision on August 20th, 2013 to shutter the site. And this is what she had to say about it. What I do know is it's not possible to be fully human if you are being surveilled 24/7. I hope that makes it clear why I can't continue. There is no shield from forced exposure. Some of the members are attempting to set up a discussion board to continue the work of the site, and that link is also in the notes of the new discussion board. So some of the other people that were involved with the site are attempting to carry on Grok Law.
Well, it seems to me that it's really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate,
and it's because of the email surveillance.
Yes, and they're the second victim that I know of. LavaBit was the first, and Grok Law is now the second. So, and the Guardian's had some problems of its own. So.
Well, yeah. If you had peer-to-peer email,
if you eliminated email and did it with a type of peer-to-peer file sharing on a trusted network, maybe you could get around it, but that would take away a lot of the heart of Grok Law.
Yeah.
Like I was a regular reader of Grok Law, and it really revolved around community input.
Yeah.
So.
And then, of course, if it gets infiltrated, I mean, it's really,
It's just a mess. I think I'm very sorry to see Grok Law go. Too. But I think Pamela made the right decision.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
And next up, we have IRS revokes Xorg's 501c3.
Whoops.
Xorg's, what?
Yep. During an IRC meeting this week of the Board of Directors, Stuart Kreitman wrote, "The status of the 501c3 is lost because we, parentheses, me, failed to file the 3 past years' tax returns on time. Note that we've never filed returns since our first reorganization to the LLC in 2005. I was taken by surprise that the IRS hit us so rudely. I've had little issues with my own returns and have always found them to be reasonable and friendly." Now, I really have to believe that was sarcasm. Either that, or Mr. Kreitman is an idiot. Everyone who has ever been involved with a 501c3 knows you have to file every year or you place your status in jeopardy. So, and Mary, you know that as filing because you were the treasurer for MDLUG for a long time, and we have a 501c3.
Yeah. Do we still have it?
I don't know. Do we still have it? Yes. You Treasurer Tony? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the important one is it the Fed's one that's the important one. I think the IRS.
Yeah, the federal.
Yeah.
So they're now looking at options for moving under a larger organization like SPI, the Apache Foundation, or other free software-focused organizations. This will return them to nonprofit status without all that troubling paperwork they seem so bad at.
Well, now think about it. It's, you've got someone, if you have a group of people who like doing something, the last thing they want to do is the admin. And that's why any
this guy was their accountant.
Oh. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that is bad.
I didn't say that in the story.
Oh, okay.
But he was their accountant.
I thought he was more on the tech side of things.
No.
Which would be understandable, but
Right.
that's not understandable there.
Right. And I don't know if he's an accountant by trade, but he was Exorg's accountant.
Yeah.
So.
It's a sad tale. It's a sad tale you weave there. Okay.
And that's all I have.
Hey, okay, somebody said, oh, Kay Wisher's here.
Yes.
All right. I just want to say, hey there. All right. That's the end of your stories?
That's all I have, yeah.
I have a couple. There was an article this week. Actually, I got so many things open here. I can't find my stuff. There was an article this week, and it was in Network World, that talked about the last days of Unix. Did you see that article?
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, I read it. Oh, he's already being dismissive of my little news item. I wasn't worthy of Matt, so I'll leave it for Mary. Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about it. No.
Yeah. What, no, teasing everybody and they're not going to talk about it?
Well, no. No, seriously. I thought it was kind of an interesting article because, in a way, indirectly, it's sort of a victim of its own success. In other words, Linux, of course, was patterned after Unix, mimics Unix. And Linux, when you look at the enterprise environment and you look at embedded, you look at all of that, Linux growth is really increasing. And then Unix, of course, because it's tended to stay in that server area, it's just kind of slowly.
I don't think Unix is dying because it stayed in the server area. I think Unix is dying because it's proprietary. I truly believe that it is the open source. No, I truly believe it is the open source philosophy that has driven Linux forward. That if it weren't open source, if it were under some kind of proprietary license, that it would be just as crippled.
Well, I was going to refute that and say, but look at Red Hat. But the problem, no, don't even say anything, Matt. I already know the flaw in that, which is why I didn't say it only in this context. But yeah, I mean, Red Hat Linux is it all open source? There's
yes.
Okay.
Well, there's proprietary components, but it's built on open source. So there's an open source version of everything that's proprietary inside Red Hat.
Thus, we have CentOS, we've got Oracle
CentOS,
Linux.
The only thing CentOS really does is strip out the graphics, which are proprietary.
Okay.
And there's some other stuff that has to do with the way they push updates. Okay. That's also proprietary.
Right.
So.
But I think that I myself thought it was an interesting article because they said that it's never going to really die out, at least not in the near term at all, simply because too many corporations and enterprises depend on it.
Right.
And
because, as an example, and I know they're bankrupt and out of business, but if you look at Borders Books, they were an AIX shop. All their web servers and everything were all running on AIX. So.
Which is IBM's Unix. Yeah, so they say that, let's see if there's anything else here that is of interest on that article. I guess not. We'll have the link to it in the show notes. I just thought it was kind of interesting just talking about it. The only other thing I've got is, and we haven't really talked about this yet, Matt, and I know that you didn't want to talk about it, but I'm going to bring it up just for a moment. Or did we talk about it briefly when the show started? 5 reasons why Ballmer needed to go.
Oh.
Yes.
Ballmer needed to go just because he
Stephen J. Von Nichols had
Monkey Man is gone.
Oh my God! I went to YouTube and I put that Steve Ballmer developers.
Oh yeah.
Just for the laugh. But anyway, the reasons, according to Stephen J. Von Nichols, the reason why he's going is because of Vista and Windows 8 fumbles. No doubt there. Tablet and smartphone non-starters. No doubt there. Microsoft's online failures. The corporate culture from hell. This is something I wasn't completely aware of. They have this ranking arrangement, or that managers have to follow, where you rank your people, and if you have to put 10% of them as kind of not as failures, but as below below standard. So even if you've got a group that's really good, 10% of them are going to be ranked in this level that is basically kind of an upper out situation where you may be doing a good enough job, but because of the way they put things together here with their ranking system for HR and for performance management,
their
you
philosophy
are toast.
Their philosophy is someone has to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be on the top, which is ridiculous.
They have to be given a bad rating.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and then finally, and this was really on point when he announced his retirement. The market didn't believe in Ballmer because when he announced it, Microsoft stock shot up.
Yeah, because even though how horrible Windows 8 is and how slow the adoption has been, and we would like to think Microsoft is down and out, but they're not, because all they need is Windows 9 to come out and totally reverse all that and go back to a regular standard desktop type of environment with a lot of good press and positive spin, and they're right back on top.
I think that development path to that is years down.
I don't think it's years. I think it's maybe a year away.
Really?
And
my company.
But what's going to kill Microsoft is not Microsoft's bad decisions like that. It's the shifting market.
Mm-hmm.
The market is
But that isn't directly then bad decisions they make because of the shifting market.
They just weren't. They were the behemoth. They are the current day IBM.
Uh-huh.
The same thing happened to IBM.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The same thing happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And when the market shifts like that, they're such a behemoth they can't turn. It's like trying to turn an aircraft carrier. It takes a long time.
I remember driving pontoon boats and trying to turn them.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
You got to plan a little ahead of time.
So the shifting market, the shift away from the desktop and to the smaller mobile type devices is what's going to do them in.
Yeah.
You know, when the vast majority of your computers are now phones and tablets, and you don't play in either market.
Not significantly yet. Yeah.
Ever. They're so far behind the curve they will never catch up in phones and tablets ever.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they continue to sell RT at a loss, which they are doing now.
Yeah, I mean, and because Apple owns the entire infrastructure for theirs, and because they have a tradition of being a really good company.
Apple's even slipping in the tablet market. Their phone market's not slipping so much right now, but their tablet market's really slipping.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not even aware of that.
And you know what? I think Windows has done a bad job of differentiating between the RT and the regular.
Because there really is no difference with
RT?
Windows 8.
Well, there's applications that you can't install and run, and we've had people at work that get a tablet, Windows 8 RT, and they can't remote in because there's no Juniper client for it.
Oh.
Right.
Ooh, not good.
And the interface looks exactly the same.
Exactly.
That's where Microsoft has really fallen down on this.
Well,
because Linux is a perfect example here. I'm sorry, I'm a Linux fanboy. I know it. I love it. But there's a perfect example here is the difference between Android and a traditional Linux desktop. You can tell them apart.
Yeah, but
you know when you're looking at Android and when you're looking at a traditional Linux desktop.
But if you look at a Mac phone and a Mac desktop and then a tablet,
apart.
right?
You can really tell them
You're
apart.
Right. Yeah. So I agree with you. Yes.
And that's where Windows fell down, was they tried to make it a unified interface, and it's not a unified system. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. All right. Enough of those bozos. And the other thing I wanted to mention, although just one last thing on this, Lenovo, which of course is I think the #1 PC shipper in the world, they've just struck a deal with Pocky, Pokki. I think that's how Pocky or Pocky, to put their software on the Lenovo desktop that's shipping with 8, to return it to the more. Excuse me, I'm spitting all over myself in my excitement.
As long as it's you.
Yeah, to return it to the more traditional desktop. But the menu, when I was looking at the menu, because they had some screenshots there, it reminds me of Mate or Cinnamon. It's the menu is kind of cool looking, but it's cool looking because I've seen it before in Linux, and it just works. So I'm sure it'll probably do fine there, but I suspect that they probably took a few design cues from the Linux desktop. So. Wow, I didn't think we were going to get that much discussion out of that. Very good. And I think the only other thing I've got is just a quick KDE item. I was under the impression that 4.11 was going to be the last release in the KDE series, but that's apparently not true because
What?
in the four.
I'm sorry. Before they moved on to 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I thought I saw an article about that, but on the KDE project in their TechBase website, they just published the 4.12 release schedule, and based on what they've indicated here, they are going to be releasing 4.12 on December 18th, just before Christmas. So we'll be planning our release party for that. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
And
you know, you guys can. I found one article, and you can stop me because it's a couple weeks old. Stop me if you've already talked about it.
All right, get ready, Matt. Get ready.
NSA cuts 90% of system admin jobs.
No.
Yeah, they said in
I didn't hear that.
an effort to reduce the unauthorized leaks, they're turning to more automated systems.
Really?
Yeah.
You can automate anything you want. You're never going to replace a sysadmin though with an automated script.
Or are you talking about the people
at least the way our sysadmins that are well,
what's the job they're replacing exactly? Is it hardcore system maintenance, or are you talking about analyzing data?
Well, where I work, our system administrators, it's a very specific job. They get into the core of the stuff. And like we had a guy that spent over a week working
Assembler language?
No, working on NFS soldering? And why it was failing, and whether it was UDP or TCP, and really, really core stuff like that. And you can't replace
although
not yet.
If you're looking at the government, I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of redundancy, that they have multiple people doing the same job, or they have people doing like backups, which can be automated. And isn't that what Snowden's job was? Was he was a backup guy?
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah. Huh. Well, interesting article, Tony.
Yeah, no, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. You know, and we have other positions like the DC Tech position. You can't automate that because that's a lot of hands-on stuff where you're actually racking servers, unracking servers.
Right. We hope they don't.
Swapping out hard drives.
Hey, if they can put if robots can put cars together, they can get robots to rack a server.
But you can't drive the server from this location to that location and then rack it.
Not yet.
But anyway, the department I'm moving to.
Yeah.
Because I'm considering a move at work, and I've been talking to some of the management.
But no one knows yet, right?
No, I've been talking to some of the management about it. Is monitoring, where ours is part of our interest. We have two sides of our service. We have our customer service people that deal with our customers and their problems, and then we have our infrastructure people that deal with our infrastructure and make sure things are running.
The ones that you don't let see.
don't interact with customers regularly. They do interact with customers somewhat not regularly.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about a move to that department now.
That interacts or don't?
That does not.
Okay.
And it interacts with customers about as much as the installs department, the department I'm in, interacts with customers, which is a little bit. That department, however, I could see being automated and going away.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Is that going to be your first suggestion when you get there?
No. But
all right.
So
all right. Well,
you know, one last thing is I don't have any specific articles about this, but there's so many floating around about how the Ubuntu Edge didn't make their.
You know, I saw at least 4 articles.
I thought they got millions of dollars.
I didn't read one of them.
They got something like somewhere
I just read the headlines.
10.5 or 12 million.
Yeah.
And their goal was like 32 million.
Right.
Was that a legit goal, or did they just throw a number out there and said, let's try
this? That was their goal for the money they needed to develop it. If they didn't get that money, they couldn't develop it. That's what they said.
And they probably included costs for getting other carriers to take it on and everything like that. I bet they can still develop the handheld. It's just they can't get it out to where they wanted it to be.
Now we'll see what happens with that. I'll be kind of curious because I know they've got like a working model, don't they?
Actually, I don't. What I heard was it was just a shell.
Oh,
it wasn't a full model.
A working shell.
They don't have any hardware.
Okay.
They had a working system that they installed on a Nexus.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But they don't have the hardware.
All right, gotcha. All right. Any other news, Tony? Because I got the convention scene when you're done.
What's going with that?
Okay, I'll tell you. All right, so this is the Linux convention scene for September 2013. Okay, where is it?
I don't know, but we're looking at where it is.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I got it. All right. First thing we've got on September 9th, this is the 2013 High Performance Computing for Wall Street. That's a single-day seminar convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I only include it because this is big pipes for big data, data centers, network systems, etc. And
Just
Matt
was stuck.
was
He
door
couldn't get
challenge.
out.
He couldn't get out. All right. Anyway, and this is certainly an opportunity to see how Linux's role in the 2008 meltdown.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Enough of that. On September 12th through the 13th, we have GRCon, and that's GRR, which again is the airport identifier for Grand Rapids, Michigan convention. This is a Midwest Information Security and HackerCon. GRCon is an information security and hacking conference that provides the Midwest region information security community with a venue to come together, share ideas, information, solutions, forge relationships, etc. So that's coming up.
Yeah, Grand Rapids is close for us. It's
about 3 hours.
3-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I always want to go to this, but it's the same weekend as Ohio Linux Fest. Last year it was the same weekend.
Why
so
do they do
strange.
that? Yeah, it is
I don't
weird.
think they should check with us first before they schedule.
Yeah, they should check with OLF. And speaking of OLF, and as you just mentioned, September 13th through the 15th, we've got Ohio Linux Fest in Columbus, Ohio. Of course, it's the 11th annual Ohio Linux Fest. Will be held in the Greater Columbus Convention Center in downtown Columbus, Ohio. And they're gonna have authoritative speakers, a large expo. They welcome all free and open source software professionals, enthusiasts, and anyone interested in learning more about free and open source software. And I'm so bummed out that I'm missing it, but oh well.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a full report from you guys. September 16th to the 18th at the Hyatt New Orleans in Louisiana, we've got LinuxCon. This is the only event covering all that matters about Linux. There'll be collaboration and education for everyone in the ecosystem, from developers and maintainers to sysadmins and architects, to business executives and community members. About at the same time, because there's actually several conventions that occur that are clustered around this particular time frame down there in New Orleans. We've got Cloud Open, and this is the only conference offering collaboration and education for all matters for the open source cloud, from OpenStack to KVM to Zen, Hadoop, Gluster, and more. And also we've got the annual Linux Plumbers Conference, also done at the Hyatt Regency in New Orleans, because you kind of migrate from, the Plumbers Conference is from the 18th to the 20th, so you can either go to LinuxCon or the Cloud Open and then go to the Plumbers Conference if it makes sense to do so. So that's a developer conference for the open source community. And it's divided into several working sessions focusing on different plumbing topics, as well as
the Plumbers Conference is by invitation only, correct?
Yeah. Yep, it is. I was going to say that because I think it's sold out, as a matter of fact.
Well, it's not a matter of sold out.
Not sold out, but I mean, yeah, whatever it was you said. Also, the LibreOffice conference is going on in Milano, Italy, at Milano State University. It's, of course, the annual gathering of worldwide LibreOffice community and interested developers, marketers, adopters, and users and supporters. So that is happening. And then at the very end of the month, September 23rd through the 25th, we've got the Xorg conference. It's going to be in Portland, Oregon, at the University Place Hotel and Conference Center, of course.
Are they going to pay their bill this time?
Did they not pay their bill?
No, that was the problem they had with their convention. I think it was last year or the year before. Was they partnered with the university to put it on, and the student organization that partnered with them lost their student organization status because Xorg paid their bill so late.
No. Somebody better call Portland. No, just kidding. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be all about Xorg and all of that. So, and that, gentlemen, is the September Linux convention scene.
All right.
Very cool. Thank you, Mary.
Hey, you're welcome. Well.
What else are we doing?
Well, I have got an Is It Alive segment if you guys are up for it. Or we can,
Is it alive?
As I explained last week, it was on an extended hiatus.
Yeah.
So we can extend it for the rest of the summer, or we can run through it.
We can bring it back. I'm going to kick his ass.
All right.
Oh, no.
Okay. So it's time for Is It Alive? Yes, during this segment of the show, I challenged Matt and Tony to identify whether a Linux distro was alive or dead. You know, every other week we twist, but this week is not twist week. So the challenge is very simple. Is it alive or is it dead?
Memorex.
You're going to wish it were Memorex. What the heck happened to my Is It Alive?
Oh no.
Did my... Oh, I hope I saved it at home. You know, I worked at it at home.
Oh no.
I may have to go into the... I may have to go out into the cloud. Oh, if it's not in the cloud, it's not going to be here.
Or maybe we'll have to do extended for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, let's just... Okay, we're going to go back and we're
Oh
going to
no. We have no It's Alive.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm bummed because it was a cute one. Cute as it goes from being non-twist.
2 weeks from now we'll do it.
Okay.
Because next week is the twist week, so you can't use the same one.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and the week after,
Is Ohio Linux?
No, the week after is
the 100.
Ohio Linux Fest, isn't it?
No,
Oh no, it's 100th. Then the next.
Oh, I'm so confused.
I can't.
Well, while
believe-
we're on the subject of our shows,
Yeah, go ahead.
so this is episode 98. Next week is 99, and before the 100th
Followed by
episode,
100.
Followed by 100.
That's
Did you know
right.
that, Matt?
I did. I can
But-
count.
We're just
But you know what? I forget.
we're having the 100th celebration during the week before
Right.
our actual 100th episode.
It's on the Wednesday between our 99th episode and our 100th episode.
That's right. That way we can get a couple sound bites from us out at the brewery, and
Yeah, because we're going to be at the Atwater Brewery.
that's right. Yeah. So we want
Yes, we
everybody
will.
to come out, please.
So, and I know one of you at least is local, John Miller.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to do that this time, but next time we have some kind of release party or something, we should probably find somewhere where people are actually willing to go to, because nobody ever comes to these.
Hey, don't
think-
tell our secret.
I don't think
It's just
it's
the three
the
of us?
fact of where we have them. I think it's the fact of where we live.
You think so? I don't know. We have quite a few listeners in the area.
The only one I know of that's in the Detroit metro area is John.
Oh, we got more than that.
Yeah, there's at
Well-
least 4 people from the log.
And
There's
from my work too, there's 2 guys,
yeah,
but the one guy doesn't drink.
Kevin is in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
So if maybe we go toward like Canton or Plymouth, I know we'll probably get more people to come out.
Well, I don't
And
think
it
so.
probably being a Wednesday night. Maybe if we
That
go
I
to
think
Friday
is what,
or Saturday
that
night.
I think is what's a killer for us.
Saturday morning.
And Saturday morning. No, Friday night we could do. I don't work Friday night, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe our next one we'll do Friday night. But for this time, it is Wednesday the 4th, September 4th, Wednesday at Atwater Brewery. So come out. That's the day before my wife's birthday, so she's going to come out too and have some drinks.
All right.
Yeah, we'll order some pizza or some kind of takeout and let us know. And
Mhm.
maybe we'll get a little extra and share.
So how
But
about
maybe not.
this?
I'm a big eater.
How about this? I'll buy beer for anybody who shows up. Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
it. Mary's buying.
I'll
everybody's
buy
showing
a
up.
beer. A beer. Let's be clear here. For
By a beer, do you mean a growler?
That's
No.
a single.
no, I do not. But the other one we could go to, Woodward Avenue Breweries up in Ferndale.
Well, where's that?
It's on Woodward.
You know,
I was just there last night. I thought of you, Matt, because they had root beer, and they use this nitrogen thing for their root beer, and it's really good.
but it's probably has sugar in it. I can't have it.
Oh, okay.
But no, I tried this beer called Bohemian.
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
It was by the Detroit Brewing Company, which I'd never heard of till I had this beer.
We were there.
Where are they?
Yeah, we went there.
We went there.
That
They're-
was that other. That was.
Oh,
the-
wait. No.
I was gonna say that's not it.
Downtown. It's by the Opera House.
And we went there.
We went
Remember
there.
we went to
at
dinner?
lunch? We went. I bought
Or
lunch
lunch
that day
there.
when we were doing the. You guys did the presentation.
Oh, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
So we have been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not that other place, that other brewery we went to.
No.
That's-
Hey, speaking of breweries and pubs and all that stuff, do you know there's a movie out? Was it called The End of the World or something like that at World's End? Or it's about these guys that go back to their hometown and they do this pub crawl. But apparently, and again, I've not seen the movie yet, but apparently they had done it before, but they never made it to the last pub on the list. and it's called like the World's End Pub or Bar or whatever. And so it's a story about them doing this. And when talking about these various places we've been to, kind of reminded me of that. Although we never did that in one night.
Right.
Believe me, I would not make it past the second one.
We'd have to use a taxi.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so.
That's cool. And speaking of beer and breweries, on my vacation I went to a brewery. It was the Potosi Brewery, and I got a growler.
Wow,
yeah.
look at that.
Potosi, and actually they opened in 1852, but then they closed in like 1970.
Did you open it already?
Yeah, I've had about.
Does it still have? Is it gone flat yet?
I don't know. It's been just over a week since it's been filled. Like,
Did you?
Eight
I
days.
saw this recently, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it's this top you can get, and it screws on.
And you pump it, and yeah.
And no, it's got a CO2 cartridge in it, and it keeps stuff from going flat.
Flat. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I think growlers are usually only good for 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
So
Tony's got a 1-week-old growler. Hey, Matt, would you like a beer?
No thanks.
it's ESB. It's not a porter. But
It's a ESB,
yeah, ESB, which
extra
is
special beer.
actually almost extra special bitter.
Oh.
Oh, so it's probably really hoppy. Is it really hoppy?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think so.
But you're a stout guy, so
Right.
lagers are hoppy to you.
Did you go to
This is
Stout,
the best thing that
Wisconsin?
they had. No.
It was a
So we
stout.
were very close to the border, so we didn't really go into Wisconsin
Okay.
much.
All right.
But it was a lot of fun. And they had a museum there. We went through the
A
museum.
beer museum?
Yeah, the National Brewing Museum.
That's so typical to be in Wisconsin.
That was very cool.
All right.
Milwaukee is in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right, so we have no tooltip either, right?
No.
So then all we have left is listener feedback.
Listener
Yes,
feedback.
we do. All right.
And I'm not sure where to leave off because you guys were.
I have from Kevin O'Brien.
Yep.
He says, I'm off to download it now. I need something for my morning commute. So,
We had Ken Fallon's email telling me not to drink and drive. Matt, you are correct. Swap in memory. Remember we talked about the swap in memory thing? Seems very odd. 'Cause I don't think we talked about this last week. I think that's when we did it.
We did. We talked about the swap last week.
Yeah. And then you're not to use the word retarded anymore.
I know, and I apologize to all our listeners out there. I'm a pretty crass and obnoxious person, in case any of you haven't noticed. And I really don't mind being crass and obnoxious, but I mind being insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And it was wrong to use the word retarded that way, but I'm a
short-sighted.
I'm a product of the 70s. It was a different time, and you use that word.
But you're not a product of the drug use of the 70s.
Oh
right?
yes, oh yes, I am. But let's not get into that.
All
right. and so I apologize.
Tony's looking at us disapprovingly.
I did not know. I did not used to know that
All
was a wrong way to use that word. I know now, but I still slip into that usage. So I apologize.
Okay. All right. Very good, man.
Is that good for you, man?
That was a good apology.
I just did what Mary did.
Dropped your mic.
Yeah.
Well, we have a postmortem on why the download links weren't working.
Before we go on
we
to
have
that,
Max too.
We've got another, but we also I think we've talked about getting we get spam from time to time.
Oh, Max was just saying that he couldn't download our stuff. So
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Well, it was a problem.
Well, yeah. The problem was that there was a case. It was case sensitive, and the case between the link that was on the website and where the file was.
Right, and I wasn't checking the right place,
right.
Which Tony and I talked about today.
When we post a show, we have one spot where you put the link for the podcast feed and the play button on the website, and then there's a separate.
You mean the one that I followed and did correctly?
Yeah.
Except yours says the wrong thing. Mine said the right thing. Like mine's when you clicked it said archive.org and all that, and hers did not say that.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, I messed up, and I apologize again for that.
The Matt's apology tour.
That's
Are
fine.
you saying Mary's was wrong because it said blueberry.com / blah blah blah
No.
blah blah?
Hers
What
was
was
right.
wrong?
Hers worked. It was perfect. It just had different
So
words
say
than
that
your
again?
links
No,
did
just
and
kidding.
my link did.
All right. Well,
My
we'll
link
move
had the
on.
same wording as yours, but it didn't work.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Right.
But we all know what happened.
Yes.
I think we got it figured out. We've mentioned on previous shows that we get spam
Yes.
from time to time,
Occasionally.
and some of it is
Every week. Lots
every
of it.
week, yeah. So and that's on our website in the comments area, and I need to go in and clear it out. But there was one that arrived that I thought was really great, and so when one comes in, we have our segment called Spam of the Week, and this one was, it was from Chelsea Harbor Jacket. Must be the brand of coat, who knows? And the message was, how long will the shredded chicken last in the freezer? Matt, did you respond? I never did.
I did not respond to that, no.
I laughed.
I did. I laughed pretty hard.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
How long will the shredded chicken last?
In the freezer.
It's so topical for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Oh my God. And then the link is sanitylost.net.
Yeah.
And it goes on. So, all right.
Yeah. We have a new promo that we're gonna get recorded and send out. Hopefully, we'll get some other podcasters to listen to that or play it for us.
Our new promo? Or
And
promo?
did we get a promo from OLF or
We have not gotten one yet. We have made strides to be a media sponsor for OLF.
I think they've said we are.
Yeah, they said they'll put us on there. I haven't double checked see if we're on yet.
I haven't looked either, but they also said they were going to send us an audio promo, and they haven't done that.
Right. Well, actually,
Well, we've
I
talked
asked
enough
for it.
about it throughout the show. In the convention center.
Right, you
They
asked
usually-
him.
they
You asked
usually
him for an
have-
audio promo, but then the guy said yes, he's going to send you the audio
Oh, right.
promo.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten it yet.
We got that. There's the one from last year that you still have in the sound clips. The
Yeah, but
rocket
it
blast
says
off.
It's got the wrong dates on it.
2013.
Can you like maybe
we
dub over it? Okay, never mind.
can just make one ourselves.
Yeah.
Ohio Linux Test, September 13th, 14th, 15th.
Media sponsor, but one of the media sponsors. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we'll do our own style. Okay.
Columbus, Ohio. Hyatt Convention Center, or the Convention Center.
Yeah,
Tension Hyatt.
Show up at the Hyatt, Matt. Oh my
Well,
God.
you'll find it. There'll be signs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what's nice is that they're all inside. You don't have to go outside.
Right.
So.
Which, if you've ever been to Columbus, is a good thing.
I just checked the website. We're still not on that yet.
Okay.
But it's only been a couple days. So
Yeah.
It's reasonable.
Okay.
And was there anything else?
No, I think that's it. Do you like the music from last week?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
No, it was fine. It was. I can't remember what it was.
I thought it was
but-
fantastic. It was some of the best music I ever
Oh
heard.
no.
It
was
was.
it yours or was it Matt's? I know one of them was one of my favorite bands from.
What is that?
Um,
Didn't
no, I
mean to
can't
put you.
think of it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
didn't
no,
mean to
it's-
put you on the spot.
I don't think I had music.
My music, probably not. I went out and found some music. It was something about being broken and mistake. But
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brad Sucks.
yeah, Brad Sucks.
That's that's my favorite Creative Commons band.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I love them. Listen to them all the time.
It's very cool.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, but this week we'll have surprise music.
Yeah, it's gonna be Russian roulette for 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
you know what? Oh,
What?
I found that we got a few weeks ago. We got listener feedback about how to do I looked it up how to do a random number generator.
Isn't it a command? You can just.
Yeah, it's a single line
Yeah,
command.
it's a Linux. It's a one-liner.
Did I email it to you guys?
I don't know, but I know that it exists.
Is that our tooltip that's coming at the end of the show?
Next week, I'll look that
All
up.
right.
I'll find it again.
All right.
Anyway,
You can edit that out or whatever you want to do.
how about this week? We'll do what we did before, Mary. A number between 1 and 60.
52.
Okay.
Is that going to work?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's called flying by the seat of your pants.
That's right.
And
All right.
and even if it doesn't, he'll make it work.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's between.
You looking for
1
music?
and 31. Yeah. I'm
Oh.
gonna go for, but I'm gonna find the link for.
Scroll.
Yeah. Okay.
You said.
You're going to be cutting some of this out because we're kind of dragging here.
Yeah.
All right, good.
1 through. You said 61? No, 58?
52.
52.
See, he's trying to change my number.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
52 is track 26. Ghost 3.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
I'm a Nine Inch Nails fan, so it's all good.
I like the bass on your speakers, Tony.
You can almost feel the floor shake.
Yeah. I kid, but it wouldn't be from that. All right.
Alright, so it's Ghost 26, and I'll throw the link in the IRC chat. It's on archive.org at 9 Inch Nails, so check it out, everybody.
Used to be a drummer?
Yeah.
There used to be about it. Tony is a drummer.
Really? Oh yeah.
I've got a drum set, it's just not set up.
I saw the drum head there, but I just thought it was like a souvenir or something.
Well, that one is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the drum head I played on.
But then his
And
bandmates all signed it.
The drum line signed it.
Oh, okay. What's all that crap around the outside of it?
That's-
Glue.
Glue?
Yeah, it's muffling.
Oh,
so
okay.
what they did is you take foam, like I think it was 2-inch foam strips,
Yeah.
and then they took caulking glue and glued it on there, and it muffles it. So it's because with a bass drum head like that, you hit
Really?
it,
Yeah.
and it goes boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
and you want
okay.
boom, boom,
Right.
boom,
You don't want
Oh,
that.
okay.
You don't want that vibration.
Yeah,
That reverb
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I took one drum lesson once?
Oh, you did? No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to take me a little while to be able to have my foot do something different
I
than
played drums for a year.
Did you? Okay. I like drums. I like
It was
percussion.
hard.
It is hard to do.
I played it for 7 years.
Are we going to torture people any further with this music?
I don't think
I
so.
thought you used to be like it. How's that torture?
Well, I mean, it's your speakers.
I agree,
How
Mary.
about for 15 more seconds?
Well, is it?
Why?
That's the end of the song.
Oh,
Oh, that's a short song.
It's 2.25.
Folks, we apologize.
that's
Oh, I think I'm
most
out
of the
of the,
Ramones songs are about that length too. That is the perfect length for a good jamming song. About 2.5 minutes.
Oh, and it's starting over again. Here, pause. All right.
Yeah, we want to really tick you all off.
All right. So I guess we come to the end of the show.
That we have.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you've been listening to the Sunday Morning Linux Review. This was episode 98.
Thank God Tony's back.
This is Tony Bemis.
Matt Enders
I'm Mary Tomich.
saying have a good week. See you next week.
Right.
And we are out.
Wow, that was a long show.
It was.
Yeah, we're at 10:30.
Yep.
So almost 2
I'm supposed.
hours.
I'm usually home. Well, you're
Yeah,
gonna cut
but there's
the.
probably at least
There's- you probably
at
got-
least 30 minutes that are going to get cut too.
Mm.
Yeah, we had those
Maybe.
2 breaks.
Well, you had 2 breaks.
We kept-
talking.
We kept
Oh,
the show
yeah,
going
that's
while
right.
you.
There's like 8 cuts, so we're
Okay.
busy for that.
All right.
Anyway,
You're going back out to the campground now?
No, I'm not gonna head out there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how did that happen? My mic fell down. Oh no! I hope it got me. I don't know where it.
When
I was just picking it up. It was down here.
Oh, well, I looked at you a while back, and it was.
It was
sitting
there?
Yeah.
So I don't know when it came down.
All right. Well, anyway, it's
Well, I'd use the compressor.
right. 9 Inch Nails, number 26.
I already shut off.
All right. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Oh my gosh.